Welcome to the Same 24 Hours podcast. The podcast is currently on more or less hold to accommodate the recordings for the daily community meetup. During this crazy time, I'm having daily meetings online via Zoom where we can all join and see each other on video, and there's special guests. And so I thought I would post the replays here on the podcast so those who can't listen live can listen later. So here we go, continuing on with the daily community meetups. If you'd like to join, all you have to do is go to swimbikemom.com/meet, MEET, swimbikemom.com/meet, and you can join us any day of the week, 12 noon Eastern during the week, and weekends I'm doing 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday and Sunday. So I hope you all enjoy this episode of the Daily Community Meeting. Hi, and welcome to the Same 24 Hours podcast. I'm Meredith Atwood, author of the book, The Year of No Nonsense. I'm a former attorney turned writer, speaker, and Ironman triathlete. Although right now, all I really like to do is lift weights. We all have the same 24 hours, but it's what we do in those hours that leads to our greatest health, happiness, and success. It's my goal to crack the code on a life of less nonsense so we can all make the most of our 24 hours. So let's get started. All right, today's special guest is my dear friend. I like to call you a friend. By the way, I have a lizard and he's out. So he's making a lot of noise. He can't behave. But Lauren Zander is here. We've met, 3 years ago on my podcast after I read her book, Maybe It's You, Cut the Crap, Face Your Fears, Love Your Life. And I thought, oh, that's a hell of a subtitle. But she's the founder of the Handel Group, and they have an amazing online coaching program called Inner.U, Inner.U. So we'll talk about that. But we're here to just get some truth bombs. So welcome, Lauren.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Meredith.
Hello. So I want some Lauren Zander wisdom for what the hell are we doing right now? What are we to do in this time of uncertainty, like real talk?
All right. I do have, so for those of you who don't know me, brace yourself.
Yeah, and there will be language.
I'm potty mouth New Yorker, and I love that shit. Right. So I lean in on that. If that offends you, run, because it will.
It can offend.
You know, it's okay. I respect if it's offensive. Okay. I really do. Okay. So, and I get more offensive, but I'm going for the joke that isn't necessarily that funny, but it nails the point very clearly.
Right.
Okay. And I sort of think in marketing terms. Like how to get a person to get it in a second.
Yeah.
So I have a nickname for the season we're in right now.
I'm waiting.
Don't worry, I have the solution too, so you don't have to think I'm just leaving you on the. So, and I literally go, there's there's tracks and there's two sides of the track, and you're either on this one or the other one. There's the right one and the wrong one, and we're all jumping on both. Like both are available to me and you. Okay, ready? That was the loop. Okay.
Got it.
All right, here we go. It's lemming season. Lemmings. Right? Lemmings. Lemmings are the cutest little creatures you ever saw. They're actually really cute. Except what happens is one gets scared, starts running, and everyone's like, ah, run, right? And everyone follows them. And then from time to time, right off a cliff. Okay. Right. So I've been calling this season lemming season. And then you're either being a lemming, scared of everything outside in the world, like lemming, like everyone's getting scared of what's going on. It's not actually happening in your house. That, and then, but you should have empathy. You should care, right? Okay. So there's lemmings, right? And then there's lemming aid.
Nice. I see what you did there.
So you're either being a lemming or you're being lemming aid. There's not really much of a choice. Lemming aid gets that this is the season. They're like, oh God, this is happening. And how can I help? How can I help? How can I help myself? How can I stay on the right side of the tracks? How can I help people in my life? Like, how can I be lemming aid?
Nice. I love it.
Here's your answer.
But isn't the world scary?
Okay, I'm going to tell, so everyone, if you haven't figured out, my New Yorkness is also very Jewish, right? So I'm now going to tell you the next weird truth that only Jews would be like disseminating out, okay? So just so you all know, a holiday got canceled during this season, like a big holiday that always is very real to my family. Thanks, Daddy.
Passover, right?
Right, Passover. And I want you to really like every Jewish holiday basically has a tagline, right? So Hanukkah is the holiday of the lights. Ready for what Passover is? It's the holiday of the plagues.
Right.
Wait, it gets better. What did the plagues do? They took down a pharaoh. Do we have a pharaoh? I think we have a pharaoh who needs taking down. And I don't know how it's going to get done unless something steps in, right? Like it don't look good, right? It looks a little frightening. And I'm like, wow, the man who's really king of running lemmings could get killed by lemming culture. Maybe because sadly, the economy's tanking. And the only thing that would ever leave any president with the bag in his hand is a shit economy, like really a shit economy where people get upset and like who's ever holding the bag ain't staying. So I'm like, Passover got canceled, the holiday of the plagues, a pharaoh needs to come down.
That's 3.
And we have nothing to do about, like, there's nothing to do, right? We're all just stuck waiting and watching and being either lemming or lemming aid, right? It's nobody's fault. But boy, oh boy, I have never had a holy experience where you know, nature showed up. And then if you hear one more person tell you that, you know, the water in Venice, the sky in LA, environmentally speaking, emissions got emitted. Like,
right.
dang,
Yeah.
Like
nobody's driving. No one's puffing.
Dang.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, for the first time in my life, now that I'm doing it, like we're all online and we're all actually quite together, right? What if this was the answer, right? Like we're all connected, go Zoom, go everyone get online. Like it's not really shocking that business could be done this way. Right. I've been doing it for years this way, right? All my coaching sessions have always been sitting on I call it my perch, right? So as hell's breaking loose, and I really understand that I'm like trying to make lemonade during lemming sad season. That's how I'm holding, like environmentally, it's good. Change always happens on Earth, and no one ever likes it, really. And maybe there's a pharaoh going down.
Oh, look on the bright side is what you're saying.
Look on the, like, you have,
look
like,
on the real side. Look on some, find the side.
Your head gives you your experience of the day. If you're having a shit day, I promise it's in your head. If you're having a great day, I promise it's in your head.
Yeah. We talked about this yesterday. I had Sasha Hines on, and we went through this step by step about such situations are neutral, and then your thoughts are what cause the emotion, or your emotions are what emotions, I don't know, cause the actions which give you the results. And I thought, well, someone chewing a bag of chips on an airplane is not my problem. That is them, you know. And so we talked about how, no, that's really just a thought and the thing in our head. And my opinion of it was making me crazy. And I was like, oh man, I don't like that answer. I don't like that answer, but I like it for the answers when I like the answer, like quit complaining, do something, or get your head out of the sand, or stop complaining and do what you need to do to fix whatever misery you're in. So I like to pick and choose mine. But.
And I swear we've all dreamed of being stuck at, like, we've all wanted, like, no driving, no this, no that. Like, we all are not, if we really think about it, we've never had such free time available to us that we're entitled to. Like, I don't think we're ever going to get this chance again.
Right. And that's what I was telling someone, I'm like, even if the outlook feels dim for you, you know, you've lost your job, you're in a kind of a shit situation. And I've been there. Outside of a global pandemic, we've had job loss and it sucks. But truth on the whole, when will you ever have this much time to figure it out?
It's pivot season.
Pivot
right?
season.
Those who need to pivot. It isn't that pivots, it's you need to believe, every person needs to know that change is always coming. This will not be the last time we are faced with change. Not at all. And then how well do you deal with it? Right? So I had a friend of a friend here, right? So there's like a little gang of us that are all sequestering, right? And she lost her job. And she was definitely headed for a drink pity party, like and eat too much pity party, like entitled for it to be vice rich. And as you can imagine, that didn't go over well with me. And literally,
what did you say to that?
I was like, you're only, very Lauren style, which is vices can only happen after a great fucking day. Right? You need to earn your vices, people, right? Like, and really actually earn them or not. And so we made a game for her on what was she going to do and who would she call and what does she really wish she was doing? Like, what does she really wish she was doing? And
like with her job, like with her life,
her work. What does she wish she was doing? Who does she wish she was working with? What does she, like, you know, she's a grown ass woman with a lot of past careers and she knows a lot of people, and she could suffer and eat a cocktail at 3, or she could get ain't no cocktail hour till 7 until she's earned it. And I know this is hard to believe, but within 48 hours she had a whole new 2 consulting gigs that needed her now because they weren't in the industries that were in the middle of being fucked, which are fucked right now, right? I can't unfuck it. But boy, oh boy, pivot and use your gifts, or actually figure out what you want to get good at and start doing it immediately, right? Like you're either feeling good about yourself or you're not. You're feeling good about your effort or you're not. The more you're not, the more you're paying attention to the world. Turn the world off and really go in.
Yeah.
Or else you will really get screwed in this season.
Right. And the way I look at it, I know I'm in Massachusetts, so our governor just said, like, no one's going anywhere until like May 7th or something. And I thought, okay, that is 5 weeks. I can do a whole lot of stuff in 5 weeks because I've got Inner.U to finish. I've got Inner.U to start and finish, which I feel like I cannot do that in 5 weeks if I'm going to do it real. And then I've got another thing online I'm doing, and then I wanted to finish my fiction novel, like writing it by the end of April. So I have a lot to do that is probably a little rich, but when am I going to get 5 weeks at home when I can literally be like, you know what, I think I'm going to work from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. and then I'm going to take a nap, and then I'm going to get up and do the community meetup, and then I'm going to go work out, and then I'm going to go back to bed. I can do whatever I want. And I think no matter where you are, that just framing it that way will change everything. even if you're like, well, shit, I don't have a job. Okay, yeah, you need to get on that and figure out what you want to do, just like you said. What is it you want to do? Pivot. Pivot.
All right. Pivot season.
Pivot season. All right. So I think you kind of answered this, but what I'm struggling with in my world is, how do we balance personal responsibility and accountability for our own lives, our own selves, and oh my God, oh shit, this is happening. I mean, yes, we choose via limbing or a limbing aid, but the reality of it, like, what is the mental process for, oh shit, I just lost my job? Where's my personal responsibility in all this when the world outside is literally like nuts?
We've never been so not responsible for something. This is utterly Mother Nature stepping in, right? There's no question. Like, you can't point to the country, to the people, you just can't. It's over. It went. It's not going to be done till it's done. And then what you do during this time, right, is the best chance you have to pivot, right? So these businesses, some are so coming back. Obviously, people are going to go out for dinner for the rest of their lives. And like, many things are coming back. But you're like, when are they coming back? Not till like, it's true. Like, you almost should go, money ain't going to start really rolling in the industries that have been dead. At best, like, rolling again in September. September through December is going to be like cram events, like cram season. But for those of you who ever wanted to shift or realize you're in a storefront, you're in commercial real estate, you're like, there are things that you are in right now that are not coming back. And you can feel it. So the more you can tell the truth about where you are solely, not where the world is, but where you are in reference to what's going down out there, the more you can figure out this is your time, right? Endings are really, really frightening for people, not because you are upset with what's ending. It's you're scared shitless to figure out how to begin again. It isn't people are dying to stay in that relationship more. They just don't know how to get out and start over. And that makes people stay. Right? So endings are not the biggest problem. It's the beginnings we're all bug-eyed, lemming about. So what do? I'm sorry, this is going to sound ridiculously simple, but it's true. There's exactly what you should do today. You should read that book. You should go for a run. You should hang out with your kid for an hour. You should screw your husband the good way. You should, like, there's literally, if you did this.
Sweet, I'm going to take his money today.
With Luke, not the other way. Okay. Oh. Like, what are you going to do today so one day at a time you're proud of yourself? Actually proud of yourself. There's a to-do list and a not to-do list. What do I recommend? I recommend you get with a buddy, like a dear friend, and the two of you have the best days of your life. That's it. Now, you go, Lauren, what's new about that than on like 16 Tuesdays ago? I'm like, no, I was still selling that. Right? Like,
just no one was listening.
An amazing to-do list of what you wish you were doing, right? With your bestie and holding each other accountable for having epic days. Is that new information coming out of your mouth? No. But boy, is it accurate today. Right.
But this is our opportunity. No matter what shit is hitting the fan, this is an opportunity.
Yeah, you can't stop the shit from hitting the fan. As a matter of fact, it's really quite a show. Like, I have never been in such a, what I'm calling a holy war, like the weirdest changing of the guards. You know, I have one other mean line. Everyone, bear with me. Everyone prepared?
We'll remember it. Here we go.
Okay, this doesn't pertain to everyone here, or if you even end up in this category, but I'm sorry. It still seems like white, crispy, older men are coming down.
Shame on you, Lauren.
I still feel me tooing, right? Like very wealthy people should be very concerned in the mafia at the top, because they're like, I didn't say it ain't trickling down and it ain't a bitch, but I don't know if those kings are gonna stay king. And there's like kings coming down right now. Fascinating. So I find the time really profound to pay attention to, not from fear, but from change.
Now that you mention that, it does have a biblical ring to it. It's very Old Testament. Where are the locusts?
I'm telling you, it's spring, it's happening, it's a rebirth. Like every woo-woo person should be all over this.
Oh yeah. Well, I think a lot of them are. But my husband last night, he's like, do you want to watch Contagion? I swear it's like the same thing that's happening now. And I was like, I don't want to watch that right now. He's like, well, let's just watch the preview. And I watched the preview. I was like, oh my God, I want to watch this. But I was like, no, I don't. But it was crazy to watch the preview for that. But one thing that you always talk about that makes me squirm in my seat and makes my butt pucker is about telling the truth about everything, not just the things we want to tell the truth about, but telling, and you say just tell the truth to everyone, but if you can't tell the truth to everyone, telling the truth to ourselves. And I had no idea, and we've talked about this before, how much of a liar I was to myself. And I am a recovering liar every single day, and it gets better and better. But I was a liar in my own food journal. I would lie. I'd be like, well, this is how I ate. I ate 1,600 calories. And like, I would just lie just because I wanted to meet the goal. And I mean, who does that? Well, I posted a podcast about it, and a lot of people apparently do that. But what is the cost of us lying to ourselves? Like, forget the other people. Like, let's lie to everyone else. Everyone's lying anyway, whatever. But what is the cost of lying to ourselves? And not just in a food journal, but about this, like the truth about everything that's going on right now.
So the first thing that no one really, even though we all get it, we've all seen it, we all know it, we don't understand it, right? Which is, we were born liars. Not a little. Like the minute we figured out language, right? And I remember the first time, my story is the first time with my daughter who got a cookie that she wasn't supposed to have. And you know, she doesn't know you can see crumbs on her. She doesn't know you can see evidence. So when I went, honey, what have you been doing? Nothing. Honey, did you eat? No. Right? Like, no, straight to mommy's eyes. I'm not even mad.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you go, why do we lie? It's because we want to keep people off our backs. We don't want people to know. We want to get away with something. Like, are you kidding? Lying is genius. Genius. If you told the truth about what you ate, even in your own fucking food journal.
That's what I'm going to call it from now on, by the way.
Right? Like if you literally wrote the truth, you'd have to face your own feelings and your own thoughts about the failure. So the simple fudge of lying, even in that moment, is the same voice who didn't want to write the truth down. Like it's the same eater, the same liar, the same voice at all times. Right. And we wish we were light. We really do. We all wish we were light all the time. The only way to be light is to hear the dark. I'm sorry, folks. I'm really sorry. The only way, you know, we wake up every day with teeth to brush because they stink and they get, like, we understand it starts with dirt. Right? You get right sleep, wake up.
My 12-year-old does not understand.
Right? Like
my 12-year-old son does not understand.
Right? Like we don't understand the yin yang of everything all that geniusly, and we feel guilty when there's dark always and ever present, whether it's our thoughts, whether, oh my God, that's my cat who really wants me to let him out of the room. He's sleeping, but he wants out. We'll see how much more dramatic he gets.
You can let him out, and I can show my lizard in the meantime if you want to let your cat out.
We'll do it on the next one. But it's coming. Okay, so liars are like, the day we get that we lie, like we naturally lie. Honey, was that like, did you like the meal? How do I look? How does my ass look in these pants? You know, do you want to get off the phone? Like, the amount we will lie to keep the other person happy or to be a good person is something that we actually have to dig deep and face in each one of us. Like there's 100% of how you lie. Not a little, not sometimes when, but like the liar in you your whole life. And if you have never really faced her or him fully, she's running an underground.
That's right. In your food journal,
and everywhere and anywhere, in your marriage, in your sex life, in your body, in your drawers, in your business, it is literally the crime we won't face that we don't have a sense of humor about. And we don't get yin yang. We're dark and light, right? I would never kill the sheep I'm about to eat. Oh, I'm eating. Right? Like right there, right? Dark and light, right there, right? Lie. Can't face, won't deal. Like, we're right there. And if you look at society and where it is, it's all right there. Right? And then my next joke, which is one of my favorite jokes, which still works. Which is
we'll see.
Okay, which is, where's the lying section in the bookstore? Where's like all the lying section? Because if we think about what we hate most about politics, humans, business, marriages, right? And divorce, everything, we're like, they lied. They cheated, right? They never told me what they really thought or felt or did, right? We don't even have volumes and volumes and volumes on learning about how we lie. It's nowhere.
Because we can't tell the truth about that, Lauren.
Right? It's like the emperor with no clothes kind of business, right?
Right.
Right.
But what would the world be if everyone's like, yeah, I'm gonna lie now? Like, what what is the world? You just think everyone should tell the truth.
Right. And then we all know and don't even mind what we mind. But like, Trump's just a straight out liar. King of the lion.
And like, no matter where you fall politically, like I struggle with this. I stay unpolitical, like, just because I'm too young in this world, and if I get political, I'll lose 50% of the people that pay attention to me. So I stay unpolitical. However, when I have conversations with people, just objectively,
you just lied, right? No,
I actually am not lying. I really stay unpolitical. Wait.
Unpolitical. Listen. Staying unpolitical for appearances is what you just admitted.
Right.
If you were unpolitical, you'd be unpolitical.
No. Okay, you're right. No, I'll admit that. I don't mean to lie about that. I am staying unpolitical because I want people to like me.
So basically you're like, the Trump people will not mind that I really don't like Trump-ness. But I'm not going to tell anybody, so they all pretend it's not happening.
Correct. Now you're on to me.
Welcome to the level society is at, actually. Don't be true to yourself. Don't trust people to be true to themselves, right? And walk a fine line of bullshit. Got that?
Right. Correct. Okay, so at least we're on the same page. I'm looking forward to our future coaching session where you make me come out as a flaming liberal.
I don't care. I don't care. but anyone who doesn't know you are doesn't actually know you.
Right.
And
oh, correct.
And there is
correct.
no, right, there's no amount of someone loves you, they love you whether you're gay or straight, right? Like you're caring about gay or straight, right? Yeah. Be whatever you want to be.
Right. No, I know. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this right now. You always, no one gets me speechless except you. But what I was going to say is, objectively, even though I'm unpolitical, lie number one is that you can look at the current political situation. You can look at the lies objectively. You can say, okay, that man just said this. Here's the truth. Lie, connect the dots. And then everyone's like, no, that's not a lie. And they go on.
I'm still in recovery from the he grabbed chicks on planes.
Me too.
Like, I still don't understand how that, like, where's that, ladies?
Why is that? Was that okay?
Oh, wait, we're getting right. Anyway, everyone has a chance. Like, so the point is, when a human's willing to lie, they can't be true to themselves. I'm sorry, they don't coexist. You can't be true to yourself fully and shine and even learn lessons, right? And even change your mind, right? Because if you're managing for someone else to like you, to agree with you, to not upset them, if you're managing for someone else, that's a way to think and dismantle your power, period, right? Someone's more important. All your audience is more important than what you have to say. Wait a minute, you had something to say, which is why you went and got an audience. So it creates a reversal of connectedness to the self.
I'll play devil's advocate though. If you have a different message, so oh, I love this. So my message is not one of political affiliation. My message is take care of yourself, like get your shit together, live a better life. Don't be a drunk if you have a drinking problem. So like, to me, I feel like that's like my quarter of the world. So am I really going to change anyone's mind if I talk about politics? Because I know no one's ever changed my mind talking about politics.
Having a conversation. See how, now watch what humans do. Ready? This is such a demo. It's awesome. You take it to an extreme, which it then can justify staying the same. Oh, so I should get into politics now. I'm like, huh? I could, what? Like, that has no bearing on what we're talking about. We're just talking about you being true to yourself and saying whatever the fuck you want to say that you think right now. Right? I took down a pharaoh. Does that sound like I'm political or I know anything about everyone? I know nothing about politics. I will come out and vote. That's about all I'm good for. I'm not gonna, right? So okay, so you make it go extreme. Oh, diets are the worst because then you have to limit. Huh? We're just talking about cutting out sugar. Okay, you can eat everything else, right? What? Like by making something extreme, you then can invalidate it and that finds like the integrity of the situation for your being true to yourself.
Yeah. So like when I have a feeling, for example, I see a press conference, I get mad, I want to tweet, and I don't because I don't want people to be mad at me. That's lying.
Let me get this straight. You're not allowed to tweet because
no,
your lower self is scared what people will think if you say that. And that she's already trying to keep people not thinking she would say something, right?
No,
like, honey.
I have a fundamental belief that I don't want conflict and drama if it's going to make me crazy. So, like, if it's not that I want to make people to be happy, I don't want to be crazy. Like, I don't want to say something and people make me crazy.
Okay, so now your inner dialogue that can't handle you telling the truth and people writing the truth back to you, because don't you think that would be more interesting to learn how to not care and care than to figure out how to silence yourself so you don't have to feel any feelings about the truth getting told. Like, I'm telling you.
Oh, no. The
truth is so fucked in everyone's story, because if you say that to your husband, if you say that to your kid, if you say that to your boss, if you say that, like, you're already assuming what other people are going to say. You're very like shout out for the day. There will be so you're literally managing your own assumptions about what people are can do, and then you're crafting your life to what you made up, might be right, might be wrong, about everybody else and what they're going to think of you. And then you have to keep this appearance, which has nothing to actually do with what you would want to fucking tweet in that moment.
Right.
Okay, well, that is the human dilemma right now in all aspects of their own life.
Right.
Boom.
Oh, Todd Nixon has his hand up. Would you like to take a question, Lauren?
Sure.
All right, I am
but you have
unmuting
to
you.
mute him in case he wants to yell at me.
Okay, he won't yell.
Do you know I didn't? I didn't pretend I was good.
So doesn't lying have some purpose for humans? I mean, you walk down the hallway at your office and you say, "Oh, how are you doing?" You don't really care what that person feels. Like, you're just saying it because it's common courtesy. And then you have somebody who actually like tells you how they actually feel or are having a day, and you're like, "Oh shit, I was just kidding. I didn't really want to hear that."
Okay, so I have a list of, in my work, I have 7 different ways we lie, right? And one of the ways is the one you're bringing up, which is social grease. Like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. Oh, you look great." Right? Even if the thought is, "You're fucking annoying," right? Or, "Did you gain weight?" Right? Like, no matter what you think in that head of yours, what comes out is social grease, white lies, your shtick. And I underline dick and shtick, right? Which is fake. So I want you to know this. I deeply don't do that, right? And then what it made me do, because when you take away your right to like social bullshit, you actually have to decide if you actually want to make that taxi driver smile or really be with that person, right? It actually makes you present to who do you want to be. When you do social grease and you do normal la 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 la, right? What happens is you're not actually conscious to your moment. Not at all, baby. Right? You're doing reruns, it's Groundhog Day, right? Without really doing the way the movie wakes you up to, right? So if you take away your right to do social grease, you'll make much more authentic social grace. And you'll be more of a king. You'll be more of your true self who doesn't actually give a fuck.
Until the people you do give a fuck about, right?
It's just like, stop being a fake. It's disgusting. I swear, try life without it for a month and see how different it feels to inhabit your soul. Like, no one even understands. It's like green eggs and ham, Sam I am. Like, you have never tasted it, people. I'm sorry. You have never tasted this unless you made a lie list, made all your lies, clean them the fuck up, and actually deal with what it is to end your right to lie. You don't know your real self. Sorry. Did that sound optional?
Can you start not lying today, or do you have to go back and make your other lies correct? Like, you
could stop lying today. Of course you can, right? Right. But you will defend it. The little voice in your head will be busy, and you will never get to the core of what it robbed you. Like, if there's a lot it's stolen from you, you have no idea how sad and sick the pile of garbage of lies has turned you into a part of you that you would give up if you could. It's the coward in you.
Yeah. No, I know. I wrote a book that got heavily edited. The first draft was full of a lot, and it got lied by omission. And it's still a pretty scandalous book as far as I'm concerned. As far as my family's concerned, it's still scandalous. But I'm like, you should have seen draft 1. That was the one that didn't have any lies in it. And so now I'm sitting down because I'm reading Glennon Doyle's Untamed. Take or leave Glennon, I'm not sure.
Cat has to get out of here, or he'll pee on me.
But I felt like this was a Lauren book completely, because Glennon is telling so many truths in that book. And as I read it, I am very inspired by not just her stories, but she's in her truth, and she's standing in it. And I'm like, why is this book so good? Oh, because there's no bullshit in it. It's just, and I feel like the book I wrote, I'm very proud of, but as I move more toward reading Glennon's book, I'm like, I feel like I left out so much of my soul that could have been in there and that would have felt more true, because I was worried about positioning it. But then I've preserved relationships, so I feel good about that. You're yawning. I know. But now it's published and it's only been out like 4 months, and I have whatever. Like, so moving forward.
Well, I promise you should send out what no one knows that wasn't in the book as an addendum. Like, anybody want that? You want to pay $5 for it?
Here's the truth.
The ugly hidden truth that didn't make it in the book.
It's like the tabloid insert, or like in legal books, the pocket parts in legal books. Anytime you get an update, I'm like, here's a pocket part to the Year of No Nonsense, the extended author's cut. Oh, that's what Todd just said.
We all want that one. We want the one you don't want to show us. Everyone wants the stories that no one wants to tell.
Oh, but you know what's so crazy is I desperately want to share it. I want to share so much. I want to tell the truth about so much. And I know that everyone around me would be like, bye. And then that scares me.
You made up again. Are you clairvoyant?
I come from a very long line of clairvoyance. So okay, thanks for asking.
Let me let you know something. You're not. Okay. Because you have no idea what people will and won't think. Okay.
Not strangers, the people I know.
And I have a joke. Ready for my jokey word?
Yes, I could use a joke right now. I'm sweating. Can we look at my armpits? Look at that.
That is very convenient for you.
It is extremely convenient.
We make a bunch of mean, funny jokes about ourselves that we are unconscious, and I teach higher consciousness. And here's my really funny joke. I am Confucius, right?
Well, then I am a clairvoyant. If you're Confucius.
You are definitely convoyanting. I'll give you convoyant, where you think you know how people will not love you.
But I really do know that.
How convenient to keep you from facing your own fear. Right?
Yeah. Because at my core, and because at everyone's core, especially with like family, like that's the kid coming out, right? That's the 5-year-old who thinks they're going to be put outside and
oh my God, you are an endless supply of defending lying.
Right, I am. I'm very good at it.
So is anyone who's lying. Anyone who's lying, every single person who's looking at me now has a list that they're going to the grave with. Like, oh yeah, I'm taking that to the grave.
Yeah.
I'm going grave.
I'm actually not taking shit to the grave.
As if the grave's the end and nothing else happened. Or before, like as if we all are so clear that karma like lies, like
I'm not taking it to the grave, but I'm probably taking it another decade. Right.
Well, root for humanity, why don't you?
I know, but that's how I think. I'm like, I will be ready to say these truths in 7.5 years.
All right, tell one that you're taking to the grave right now, girl. Let's go. Let's just bury one. Come on, girl.
Oh geez.
On.
I am sweating. I'm trying to think of a good one too. Like,
you just be quiet for a second. Come up with it, and we'll.
I got it. This is a huge one. This is a big one. Okay. It's a big one for my family. I don't give a shit about it. Anyone that knows me. I lost my virginity at age 17 in South Africa on a weightlifting trip. That's not a big deal to you, Lauren, but to my family, that's a big deal.
All right. Well,
that's a dirty lie.
I was 13. Yeah. 8th grade, baby. Like, wow.
Oh, I would have done it then, but I was too scared of what people would think of me.
I was a camp. I was a camp.
But I know, like that, I don't actually care that anyone knows that about me, but that is like a fact about me. The people that, you know, were responsible for feeding me and being proud of me and would not have approved of. And I probably would have been grounded for like all of senior year.
Okay. But here's the thing, okay? That is so warped about us.
Right. Oh, for sure. They were hypocrites.
Wait. Well, that will even make it your heyday, right? Like that makes it fun. Really, Mom, when did you lose your virginity? Right? My mom lost hers at 16.
Yeah, well, I've talked about this with you. We're not talking about this.
Like,
we're not asking our parents things. Goodbye.
Okay.
Never mind.
But the bigger lie is that you should hide the truth about you so that they could never say what they really think and tell you their truth. And then you all could evolve together by talking about it, right? Like you're missing the majesty of change.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're pretending they'll only love you if for the fake you that doesn't talk about it. Because then real love would get conditional and they won't love you if they knew who you really were.
But the fear is that love is conditional.
Here's the kicker. You're pretending they're the ones that won't love you or live past that moment and just say whatever the fuck they need to say. There's only one person who's lacking self-love in that scene. You already aren't being loved because of what you think they think, and you don't tell, and you hide your, like, honey, this is all your puppet show.
Yeah, of course it is. I don't deny that. It is a puppet show.
Okay, well, none of it's real. You did what you did, bitch. Own it. That right. You're
I don't know what to do with this hair.
Fucking at 17 when you're in your 30s, like hiding.
I know. Okay, I'm not hiding it. I tell anyone who's like not my parents.
Okay, well then, your parent. You're a grown up now.
I am not a grown up. I am only a 2-year-old grown up. I started growing up at age 38. I am a baby grown up.
Okay. Is everyone clear how crazy humans are? Are we good? Did we do a demo of how lying lies about lying and makes lying sound like it's a good idea?
I'm glad I can make everyone feel better about their lives now.
And like anybody wonder what's wrong on earth?
Right.
That was a demo.
That was great.
With a real good guy. Pretending that being good isn't dark when it's lying. Right. Wow. Right. That's hot.
I know. It's gross. I hate it.
Not really. Okay.
No, I do. Like I do. I want.
When you hate dirt on the floor, everyone has to take their shoes off. When you hate pickles, you don't eat them. When you're eating pickles going, I hate it, someone should go, oh, it must be a lie too. We're not dumb. We play dumb.
But one more question.
You really want to keep going, girl. I love that.
I do, because I know you've worked with a ton of people, tons of people. And has there been a circumstance where someone told all their lies and they were sorry?
Of course. Oh, you mean like they regretted it?
Yes, like, oh shit, everything I thought would happen happened.
And so if you're a coach for Handel, you have to clean up every lie, everybody ever cheated on everything. But like, I could have a client who got divorced, who cheated, I've been dealing with lies forever, right? Oh my God. Okay. And for my coaches, no pass. But for grownups, they have to make their own decision. I may quit. We'll see where I am about the whole damn thing. Okay. But so there was a woman who really was bad in her marriage, but it had been like 15 years earlier, right? And there really was a few years there. And she stopped herself and fell back in love with her husband. Literally, if I open my mouth, we will die.
Yeah, not like water under the bridge.
Not like you are lies. Okay, like she has a point, right? Like really has a point. And so I was like, what's the consequence is you'll never be free. You'll always be a criminal. You'll always be guilty in your own love. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but you'll always have that. But I believe you, and I understand why you're scared to tell the truth and see if your marriage can make it, and you love him. She told. She couldn't live with herself anymore. And hell hit. Hell hit. But if you go, where are they now? Did they go into therapy? Did they fix a bunch of shit? Like, did they get epic? They got epic. And she was really like the breadwinner and the bossy boss, right? Like, she really came down about 600 notches. And he really became the hero. And the power dynamic completely shifted in him forgiving her and her needing forgiveness and their love. Like, if you hung out with them now and who they are today, it just proves why tell the truth, even when it's fucking the worst idea of your life.
Yeah.
So even in my worst case scenario, that's still the story.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, because if the answer is no, this person no longer loves me, or this is not going as swimmingly as I had expected, then the answer is the answer, right?
You karmically speaking, right? Your lies aren't going to hold up, right? The truth about you is the truth about you. What you did and didn't do is the truth about you. That you think you're being loved by being some fake you doesn't really feel like love to the soul.
Yeah.
Right? And it doesn't even feel, it just puts you in a trap. And that trap is the opposite of what we came to live, learn, fuck up, make mistakes. We're not actual, we're like playing a role we're playing a role versus we really are an idiot. We really did fuck up. We really did puke. We really did take that money. We really, we did. Right. And so if you can't, when we really learn, it's when we, how many times did I stick my hand in fire before I figured out fire? I never need to learn it again. So when someone's still making mistakes, whether it's drinking, food, relationships, I promise no one ever really learned the right lessons because they never told the fucking truth.
Right.
And so we learn fake lessons, pivots around, right? Workarounds, right?
Not to be confused with the reach around.
Sorry to be so good at
bang. All right, 2 minutes to go. Tell us about Inner.U.
So if you still like me.
I don't like you. I keep inviting you back. I don't know why.
I turned a few good people off. But so I have Inner.U career, Inner.U love, and Inner.U life. I also have Inner.U student, but they are all different content. I have been working in self-help land since the 90s. Okay, I'm 50. Okay, and I developed my content at Stanford Business School like this, even though I'm a potty mouth funny bitch, if you like my humor. It's been proven, it has science backing, but it is this funny. And my whole entire Inner.U gets you a buddy. It's on Zoom. There's free classes. Once you're in for life. Okay. But you listen to 25-minute podcasts or clips with the homework. You can buddy up, and you have never heard my stuff before, and it moves you through the entire process. And it's the bomb, right? If you want to, right now, I can't think of a better time to do it, honestly. Right. We're also giving it off 50% off right now to anyone who's willing to work on themselves.
With all this time we have.
Right. And you get to give them the coupon because it credits you.
Yeah.
And love is all about your love life. It's profound. It makes you understand you have a head, you have a heart, you have a hoo-ha. It has lots of different interesting content. If you're not in love, you want love, by all means, deal with that. Your whole life, that's what we're really talking about here. There's lying, there's all, like, it's all in there. And then career is if you're in a career you're not in love with, or you don't really know who you are and what you want to do, and you wish you did. Yeah, that'll make you deal.
Yeah. Thank you, Lauren. I know you got to go. Thank you.
Oh my God. I thank you for letting me kick your ass.
Anytime. I love when you kick my ass.
I seem to not have a choice.
All right. Until next time.
All right. Bye, people. Thank you for listening. Have a great Lemonade Day.
That's right.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Same 24 Hours. Remember to rate, review, and share this podcast. It really matters. I appreciate it. See you next time.